Thank you all for coming. Sorry we don't have enough chairs. We looked for more, but we did not find any. So, yeah.
Mayor Music Center.
Yeah, you know, it's on the grass. It's, anyway, yes. So I really do appreciate you all coming. It means, like, more than I can even express the fact that you are all here to see me and support me, and just, like, it's so exciting. Also, I have to give, like, a huge shout out to Tess Wei, because not only did she draw the cover art, which I will share a little bit more about, maybe, but she also is cooking for all of you. And it's like,
Thank you, Ted.
Cool. So I have a little sheet, and it's got like topics on it. It's a lot to memorize. Anyway, so the first thing that you guys are probably wondering is why are we having an EP release party when there is no released EP? That's a great question. And the answer is that because I just didn't know that like Spotify and Apple Music takes like up to 4 weeks to put music on their platforms until after I started inviting people. So I was then like kind of stuck in this like, well, do I like cancel invitations or do we just roll with it? So I rolled with it. And I think, it's gonna hopefully be out soon. So tentative release date is August 28th. If Spotify and Apple Music decide to be friendly, cooperate. But I will certainly be telling everybody about it. So yeah, that is the first question you probably had. The second question you probably had is like, what exactly am I inviting you to? Is it like a showcase? Is it like a performance? Like, is it just a party? Like, what's going on here? And that's the fun part, in my opinion, because what this is a celebration to a certain extent of this is going to sound a little conceited, but my completions and accomplishments. But it's also something that I would like to make a more regular thing, and that is an artist showcase where artists such as myself and other creatives can come and share their work openly to a group of people and discuss, what makes them tick as artists, to discuss their inspirations, to discuss their processes, to discuss their techniques, their tips, the little secrets they've picked up along the way that can help others in their own work. And so that's what this is going to be kind of a test run of. It's going to be me sharing my EP and everything that went into it behind the scenes. Not everything, because we don't have time for that. But it's going to be that, so that's what it is. And so we are hopefully going to do this again, probably in October. And very tentatively, we have enrolled Tess Wei as our next artist. So moving from the kitchen to the stage. For those of you who don't know, Tess just spent 6 weeks at an artist residency in Canada and Newfoundland, if I'm not mistaken. And so if things work out, we will be showcasing some of her work in the future. But enough talking and more singing, right? Woo! So, just one more thing of note. Dramatic pause. So as we get into this, I'm going to be talking about my inspiration for songs, my songwriting process, a little bit about live performance, and production process. So the only thing I want you to keep in mind at this point is that inspiration is something that completely drives my process as a creative. In every aspect of the songwriting production process, whatever I originally am feeling when I create the song is what sticks with me the whole way through. And so, this EP is about a relationship and a breakup. So, and what comes before and also what comes after. So I just would like you to all keep that in mind as you listen to the songs. And with that, chance brought us together. Fate put your palm in my hand. We stole our kisses in the hallway. Then we left before it could begin. Chased after butterflies, teased one another with our passion, and laughed at our muddy eyes. On the pond, face to face, is how I remember us. Knowing this love is one to pursue. I'm not gonna say goodbye again when I know that this won't be your end. I'm gonna keep on loving you. I'm gonna keep on loving you. Chance brought us together, and now I hold your hand. Yeah, so talk a little bit about that song, and so about my process as a songwriter, right? So, like I said, inspiration for me is everything, and it guides, you know, what chords are ended up using in the song, you know, the lyrics, the melody, everything stems from that initial inspiration. And so for me, I really struggle to write a song if I don't have an initial feeling or an idea of something that I'm trying to capture. And when I do, the song kind of comes together really simply and in sometimes really cool ways. So that song has a really interesting chord progression in the verse because one of the chords that it uses is not in the key of the song. So if you know anything about music theory, hopefully that makes sense to you. Basically, there's a chord in there that shouldn't work, but because of the way it interacts with the other chords, it's called a secondary dominant chord. It does work, and it gives the feeling this lift. It basically takes a minor chord, which is sad, and turns it into a major chord, which is happy, and gives it more of a lift, more of a brightness. And for me, that really echoes the feeling I was trying to capture, which is falling in love. That song is about falling in love. And so, even subconsciously, I think those chords were captured that feeling that I was trying to express, which is this joyous, more happy feeling. And so, let's see. Yeah, so as I said, the inspiration channels into the chord, into the melody, into the lyrics, and it comes through hopefully. Then this song was one that I redid a couple times. I, at one point, turned it into more of like a Mumford & Sons style, right? And it was fun. It was a really fun song to listen to. But what I found was that it totally robbed the song of like its sweetness. And there was like the gentle sweetness of love that I was trying to capture was gone when it had this more upbeat style. And so that ended up making the arrangement much more simpler, bare bones, and hopefully conveying that feeling. So the next song is called By Your Side. And this song is more of a, it's a sadder song in its lyrics, but at the same time, I think it's a love song. And so, as I sing it for you all, I hope you keep that in mind. We started strong, well-intentioned. We were at odds, well-intentioned. But I pushed and I pushed and I pushed and it all fell down. And when we're back up, will you let me by your side? No matter what it looks like, will you be in my life? Without pain in your eyes and a smile miles wide, by my side. I did what I thought was best for the both of us. Or was I blind to the messages you sent? And I messed up bad and I don't know how to make things right again. Will you forgive me and let me by your side? No matter what it looks like, will you be in my life? Without pain in your eyes and a smile miles wide, by my side. And I know it might not be fair to ask for forgiveness, and I know it might be too late to fix what came between us, but I'll try. you've got that contrast between kind of sad and happy through the love, happiness. And I think for that reason, that song is one of in my opinion, maybe the best song I've written, because I think it has a lot of nuance and subtleties to it. And what's interesting about this song is that I wrote it in like a day. Like pretty much everything about it came together in like one day. And the reason that was the case, and when I say wrote it, I mean the initial song and not the full arrangement with the harmonies and the bass. The reason it came together so quickly was because it was really, that was the feeling I was trying to express. And so when it came time to actually write about how I was feeling, those were the words, and it was just honest, from the heart words into the song. And so when it came later to the harmonies, it was really just kind of feeling them out, which is how I write a lot of my melodies and a lot of my harmonies. It's just what feels good. And so basically I just spent like 4 hours in my room upstairs. That's kind of like mini soundproof because it's got a lot of books in it. And I just like stood in the corner, just like listened to the whole song. It was just like, that harmony sounds kind of good. And just like recorded it. And then I ended up with like actually a pretty good demo, I would say. But then I just basically took a lot of those harmonies and ended up re-recording them for the final version. And the other thing about that is I think in songwriting it's really important to build to a climax. So a song should not be like even throughout the whole way through. So if you listen, there are more harmonies, more layers of harmonies, the further the song goes on. And that gives the song more of this feeling of rising to these highs and then coming back to the lows a little bit and then rising again to the highs. So does anybody have any idea how many vocal tracks at most I use at one time in that song?
72.
Almost at that.
3?
No, not almost.
I was gonna say 6, but 72 is.
6 is very close. Much closer than 7.
Can't go over.
Oh, is it?
Five. Yes. So there.
What a, oh my god.
But yeah, there are five. And at the end, and there's one.
Wow.
There's one at the very end that is a little higher than most, and it's just at the very end because it gives it that extra little punch of here we are at the climax. Cool. So I'm going to now talk a little bit about live performance. And one of the things about live performance is that you have to be adaptable because things aren't always going to work out. So in this case, for example, this next song is a duet, but the person I recorded it with, the wonderful Sophie Mullins, lives in New York City. Her cousin is getting married this weekend, so she can't be here. So there are two things I can do for you guys. One, I can play it on the guitar and sing it just myself. The second thing I can do is I can play the recording with Sophie and sing along with her on the recording. So how should we do this? Do you want to just like yell over each other or raise hands? Okay, let's see. If you are for the second option, raise your hand. For the second option, raise your hand, which is singing with the recording. Okay.
Both.
Okay. Both. You want both. Okay, here's what we're gonna do then. I'll sing the first,
Yeah.
the first verse and chorus on my own, and I will sing the second verse and chorus with the recording.
A lot of smart people in there. A lot of smart people.
Good ideas.
You want to join in, Kyle?
No. Don't sing it back there.
You'll volunteer anyone else.
So the capo is my best friend. Capo changes the key on the guitar.
I do not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like super useful. And yeah, I think I'm probably not going to sing into the microphone for this one. So you can hear the guitar a little better, I think. So. Our room is dark as the night outside these walls, but I don't need to sing to feel your warmth in my arms. A gentle warmth as comforting as the sun. Our room is quiet as the space beneath the waves, but I don't need to hear to know the words you'd say. 3 short words as meaningful as words can be. With you by my side, I'll face anything this world can throw at us. When I look in your eyes, fingers intertwined, minds harmonize, your love completes my life. So I don't wanna have to say goodbye. Thank you. So for the second half, try from like 2 minutes, 30 seconds maybe. Can you skip ahead like 2 minutes, 30 seconds? We didn't practice this before. That's Sophia. Okay, I actually don't know where in the song this is now.
I actually remember this song.
It's very, yeah, it's a little repetitive.
Just start from the beginning.
Yeah, right here. Your hands are soft as hands have any right to be.
Your eyes are beautiful, don't ruin them with tears for me. This is no time to cry.
Be strong for me as I take your lead.
This won't be our end.
When I look Thanks to Sophie. She's a wonderful singer.
So, better than in the class.
Cool. So, yes, so live performance, right? So you gotta be adaptable, and you also gotta be able to read the room. Because if you are trying to be energetic and the crowd is not feeling the energy, you can't be energetic. You just can't force things, right? So you gotta like feel the vibe, what's going on, and you know, work with it. So we're gonna talk about some fun production things. So how many of you heard there was like kind of like an ear candy, like a soft bell sound kind of at the top of that?
This whole thing's ear candy.
Thank you. Yeah, so that sound is a tongue drum, which is this instrument here.
So much fun.
And you've probably seen it before.
It's so much fun.
And I'll pass it around to everybody. I'll get everything all taps, guys.
It's a lake special.
Yes, it is. So I got this like very spur of the moment. I was looking for like a mini guitar that I could like play, and instead I found this.
Yeah. It's like a chime. It's almost like a chime.
Are there those like larger ones that are like little?
Yeah, there are a bunch of them, right? And
This one was on
very cool. They're fun. So I'll pass this around, but I'm not giving you guys the you can play with your hands a little. So one fun, interesting little like moment of like how's this gonna work is that this song is actually not in the same key as the tongue drum. So what I did was I recorded it and I transposed it up a note in Logic, which is a digital audio workstation, which is what you use to make music. And you've all probably heard of autotune and autotune, I'm guessing, right? Very common. Autotune is now more of like a vocal effect than it really is a tuner. Another common tool that our musicians use is called Melodyne. You can be a little more specific with Melodyne and make it sound less unnatural. But you can also just transpose it through Logic, and somehow that sounds the most natural out of any of them to me. So I have no idea what Logic does, but it was really helpful and it like worked out pretty well. So we're gonna shift a little bit into production stuff now, because this next song is very different. And I'm sure you're feeling lots of like sad boy acoustic energy. This song is the opposite of sad boy. Well, maybe not opposite, but it is not sad boy acoustic. And the reason this song is so different is because unlike most of my songs, which I start by writing on the guitar, I actually started this one in Logic. And this is the first time I'm actually playing it live for people, because I don't really know how to play it on the acoustic guitar. Like, I just don't know what I would do. So, before we start.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. And please, feel free to get up and grab a drink if you'd like to at any moment. I do need someone to play an F sharp major on the piano. I think my mom's got it.
Okay, Marie. Let's see. Go back up.
Can you play the chord? Do you know how to play the chord?
She did training class. You close.
Okay, I'll play it on the guitar. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Play with it.
It's been a while.
So, F sharp would be. I don't know how to play this F sharp.
What song is it, Lucas?
This is the show.
I'm gonna run notes from you. The reason I'm doing this is because the song starts without any of like music coming in before I have to start singing. So if I'm not in like the right key, it sounds like really bad.
We got somebody throw the damn shark. Let's go. Let's go ahead. She's beautiful and she's That's mine. It's pretty cool.
Hey, let her play. She got it. No, you bad. I've seen you take a punch. Go ahead, play it. It's more fun with the stick. To be honest. Then you get 2 sticks, it's over.
Okay, so fingers crossed this worked. This works. Woo! I know you've been hurting. How could you not be after what you've been through? And the walls, they are closing in. Darkness descending all around you, and the overwhelm doesn't care what you think of it. Taking one step at a time. Just breathe, let the air in. Just breathe and take the world in. Know I'll be right there, standing by your side. We'll be alright. Life can't be easy all the time. I don't have the words to make everything feel fine. But we can stand up after we fall and not be defined by the moments we feel small. So I'll reach to you when you need a helping hand. We'll take it one step at a time. Just breathe, let the air in. Just breathe and take the world in. Know that I'll be right there, standing by your side. We'll be alright. So there are 2 production tricks that I want to highlight. The first is
Paul.
How many of you heard like a trumpet? It sounded kind of like a trumpet sound. It was going like do, 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 do. So cool. So that is a muted trumpet sound, which I just found in Logic. And most of the time, when you have an instrument, what you want to do is you want to put some reverb on it. Reverb is kind of like echo. So there's like a natural reverb in this room where you can kind of like hear my voice echo a little bit because of the acoustics. But when you are recording an instrument, you want it to be really dry, no reverb. So then if you do add reverb later, it doesn't like multiply on the reverb that's already kind of naturally there. So most of the time, if you had that type of instrument, you would want to add a reverb to it. But instead of doing that, what I did was I added another instrument behind it. So I added a lap synth, a lap steel synth, a lap steel guitar, but it really sounds like a synth. And that sound is much more reverbed and echoey. And so when you pair them playing the same thing, you get this like fake reverb. But what I find in my head at least is that like the forward trumpet sticks out more because it doesn't have that natural reverb on it, and then it still gets that kind of like cool reverby background. So that was a production trick that I thought was cool. And then also just a little bit to talk about the beat. What I learned making beats, and making one beat, is that beats are different than melodies. That's like the big thing I learned, because when I first started trying to make that beat, I was making it as a melody. So I was making it as kind of like, a melody, right? Where things aren't always the same, and there's like a little bit of like exploration, and like, now we're doing this, and then now we're doing that. But that is not really what you're trying to do with a beat. With a beat, you're trying to make everything feel good, and it's supposed to be repetitive and kind of predictable and feel really good. So once I like figured that out, it like made making the beat much easier. Okay, so we're about at the end. There's one more song, and before that, there are a couple things I want to point out. So first, I need to give a huge thank you to a couple of people. First, Kyle Ellen, who goes. Kyle Ellen helped me write some of the bass lines, and he also is playing bass on some of the tracks. But more than that, every single time that I like write something new or like revise a song, new version, whatever, Kyle is like the first person I send it to. So he's just always have an open ear, and that is just so invaluable, and I thank you. Next, I need to thank Alicia, who's here. And Ian as well. And Sophie, who's in New York. But they all added their musical talents by playing instruments in one way or another. So thank you. And I already thanked Tesway, but honestly, this is a big deal. Because she also drew this artwork for me. We do have a print on it somewhere. Is it around here? I'm not sure where it is. We have a print, so we can like put that somewhere. People can pick it up and like see it. And then, cool. So one last thing. Over on that table, on that side, you're gonna see two notebooks. The one on the one on the right is gonna be an email list. You can sign up your name and an email to get updates about future showcases here. So for Tesway, next month, that's, if you want to come see Tesway's show, excuse me, you would sign up on the right notepad. If you would like to stay in touch with me on my music, everything that's happening with me, left notepad. You are welcome to sign up for one, both, or neither. Yes. Cool. So, coming to the end. The last song on the EP is called Wildfire. And
Burning tonight.
Wildfire.
Thank you.
So,
The Cooley song.
this song is about rebirth and renewal. But I think more than that, if I had to choose any one song that I've written that really encapsulates who I am as a musician, it's this song. And I think that when you're an artist and when you're a musician, one of the things that is so hard to do is like really identify like who you are in your music, and like what is the art that you want to create, the music that you want to create. And for me, I think this is a song that kind of captures the style of like what I am trying to be and do, and all of that in one song. So yeah, with that,
Put it on, Dad. It is this.
Requests?
Yeah, so thank you again all so much for coming.
Thank you for having us,
the Ipe release should be August 28th, but again, that's a little bit of a tentative date, so I'll keep you all informed. One of the ways you can stay informed is by emails over there, again, for either one or none of them. It's really up to you. Hang out a bit, have another drink, have some more food. Again, thank you to Test Wipe. There's a lot of really cool creative people here from a lot of different walks of life. So that's all. Yes, of course. How could I forget? I give a huge thank you to my parents, my mom. This was impossible. Like literally no music, no party, nothing.
No Luca, yeah. Damn. Another Harry beat me to it.
Yeah, that's all. So have a good night, everybody.